Hello, all, and welcome to a new episode of the Horror Countdown podcast. I'm your host, Don and Ellie, and with me tonight is one of the final girls of horror, Miss Jennifer Tochi.
Hello, Jennifer
Hi.
Tochi here.
Hi, thank you for doing this. It's great to have you on board.
Great to be here.
All right,
Mm.
so for tonight's topic, we are going to be looking at our favorite 1980s vampire films. So, what was the inspiration for this topic? Anything you can say about it that fueled the decision to cover this tonight?
It seemed like all the good vampire movies came out in the 80s. That's when I got really stuck into the vampires.
Hmm.
And I just fell in love with all the vampire movies of the 80s. Comedies and scary movies.
All right, so great. So, with that said, let's count down your number 10 choice.
Okay. I'm warning everybody that in the early 90s I got addicted to USA Up All Night, which had a lot of trashy naughty movies in it. So a lot of vampire movies were from that USA Up All Night. And my number 10 is Beverly Hills Vamp.
Okay, I think we're going to be a little on board. This is actually my number 10 as well.
Oh
I
my
didn't ex I knew we would cross over. I didn't expect it on the first choice in the same slot. This is great.
You're an Eddie Deason fan too, huh?
No, I'm a Michelle Bauer fan. I'm a male. I'm a male, so I'm a Michelle Bauer
Oh,
fan.
I
But
love
I love,
it.
yeah, Eddie is amazing in this. You go ahead with yours, and I'll go in with mine.
um, Explain the movie or why I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I mean, you can do whatever you
Mm.
want with it. You can talk about it, talk about why you love it. It's up to you.
I Pyre movie just made it that much greater. And then it was like motorcycle sluts in heat. They were making that movie. And I saw it for the first time on USA Up All Night. And I recognized some of the girls from Reform School Girls and all those movies. And I just love the movie.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I can't disagree. This is a lot of this is so much fun. I mean, Eddie is hilarious in this. The producer that he ends up roping into this is just amazing. And who doesn't love a cameo with Robert Quarry playing a degenerate priest? Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. So I'm really glad that we ended up coming to terms on this for the exact same one. So I kind of moves on my number 10. So I think that'll move to my number 9. This will probably be a little high for some people, but my number 9 is The Hunger. So this is from 1983. Susan Sarandon, David Bowie. I always forget her other name. Catherine Deneuve, I think it is. Yeah, I think it is her. I really like it. It's a fun art house film, but I really find it more of a drama than horror. It has a lot of elements that I'm not really a fan of, but I still think it's done well enough that it's still a lot of fun. I'm just not the audience for it, so
That's
I
my number 3.
oh well, there you go. I mean, yeah, I knew it was going to be kind of a high for some, but yeah, there you go. I mean, I figured somebody would be a fan, but yeah, for me, I recognize it's a good film. It's just not for me, but I'm still willing to recognize how good it is.
Yeah, I
So
have a feeling we're gonna be bouncing off each other.
all right, so yeah, what's your number 9?
The Monster Squad.
Nice, that's my number 8. This is great. Yeah. Go ahead with your reasoning then.
Um, y- for me, it's like the Goonies with vampires and all the rest of the monsters in it, you know? And you can't go wrong with the Wolfman has nards, you know? You can, and I love all the monsters in it. And I just my favorite monster is Dracula. How evil he is. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a lot of mine as well. Yeah, he Dracula is definitely the highlight of the film. I love the scenes with him. I ended up knocking it down just because I think it's an ensemble more than just a straight vampire film. But yeah, no, it's definitely worthwhile and it's a lot of fun. So yeah, he steals the show. He's a definite highlight. I mean, there's so many iconic lines and moments in this. So it had to be mentioned. I would probably knock it down a little just because it's an ensemble, not just of Dracula centered. But yeah, it's still a great choice. So yeah, that's well, it was my number 8. So unfortunately, that means you're number 8. Okay, so like I said, unfortunately, this is my number 8. So Jen, we're back to you again. What's your number 8?
Fright Night.
Well, it's on my list later, so. But yeah, well, I'll talk about mine later when it's on my list. But go ahead with yours.
Um, okay. Um, I love how screwed up Chris Sarandon's character is. I love the bat in it. How the vampire is a bat in the movie.
All right, yeah, yeah. So I mean, like I said, I'll cover mine later, but yeah, I definitely agree. It's one of the best. So my number 7, I went with Vamp. So uh, I really like it. It's fun, over the top 80s. It's tons of 80s sleaze. Lots of fun little side stories with the friends trying to track down the vampire queen. I just wish she was on screen more. She's, Grace Jones is like the lead vampire, and she's like barely in it. So I would have loved to have seen more scenes with her. She's fantastic in this. I mean, her introductory striptease is mesmerizing. The just way that she holds command at the strip club, and everybody's just like so nervous and cowering around her. It's really good. Um, but yeah, she's just not on screen enough, so it kind of ruins it just a little for me. But yeah, it's my number 7.
That's why that didn't make my list.
Oh,
But oh my gosh, if I ever saw her in real life, I would be running away.
all right. So what's your number 6?
um, number 6 is My Best Friend is a Vampire.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It's got Robert Sean Leonard in it. Let's see. I got my VHS here. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and it's got Renee, Barbara Jonas in it too. It's basically about a teenager who gets turned into a vampire when he's delivering groceries. Teach him how to become a vampire and gives him the number to an all-night butcher instead of feeding on people.
Yeah, sounds interesting. Yeah, I'll have to give it a shot. I don't think I've seen that. So, not bad. Yeah. All right. So my number 6, I went with kind of a cheat. It's not true vampires, but it's close enough. I went with The Lair of the White Worm.
Ooh, that is good.
Yeah. Basically, I know that it's, like I said, kind of a cheat just because it's demon cult, but she's vampiric enough that I think it's close enough to count. She turns her victims by biting them and draining their blood, and a lot of the other, vampire lore is in there, stake through the heart, version to sunlight, all that kind of stuff. So, like I said, close enough, but it's a lot of fun. Hugh Grant before he became a sleazy, leading ladies man in romantic comedies. One of the greatest, folk songs that sticks in your head more than it should. And yeah, it's just over the top and bizarre and wacky. I have a lot of fun with it. It's definitely worthwhile. So
It is.
yeah. So move on to number 5.
My number 5 is Waxwork. I know it's another ensemble.
Yeah. I'll allow it because it's an honorable mention. So
Yeah. And my favorite when you go into the waxwork part with Dracula in it, Oh,
yeah. It's my favorite segment in
Dracula.
this. Yeah, he's got the best segment in that film by far. I left it as an honorable mention because of that, but the other stories aren't really true vampire stuff, so I can't claim it. But for his segment alone, I would have definitely included it. Just his segment is just amazing. I love it. But yeah, great choice. So my number 5, again, another one that's kind of a cheat. Kind of something that would appeal to me just because of me being a young kid when I first saw it. My number 5 is Life Force. So yeah, another one that kind of bends the rules just because it's not really blood sucking, but energy vampires, they drain the essential life force out of you, so close enough. But yeah, one that made a huge impression on me growing up, for obvious reasons. But yeah, it's just a lot of fun. The finale is just bizarre and bonkers, and I have a lot of fun with it. So yeah, definitely one that sticks out for me. But number 5 is Life Force. So that moves us to your next choice.
Okay, my number 4 is Once Bitten.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with Jim Carrey, Lauren Hutton, Cleavon Little, and the dude who played Reptile Sherbicle and just one of the guys. And Jim Carrey having to be bit 3 times in a cool place too. Oh, for everybody, but
Yeah.
to become a vampire.
Yeah. So I think this may be just a slight bit of contention between us, just because from what little I know of you, I think this is going to be a slightly controversial pick on my side. My number 4 is Lost Boys.
Mhm.
So yeah, I know how much of a fan you are of this one, and I'm guessing it's going to be a little higher on your list, just based on some of the things I've heard about you before. But um, it's a lot of fun. I really like it. I just feel it's maybe 10 minutes too long, which I know you're not really going to mind. But for me, I really like it. It's got a lot of fun elements. I'm just not that high on it. So
Don't
uh
worry, I won't hate you for that.
yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Yeah. My number 4 is Lost Boys. So I think I know your number 3.
The hunger.
Yeah. Like I said, it's fine. I don't mind it, but I'm just not the audience, and I assume you are based on its placement.
Yes, I can get a little artsy fartsy sometimes.
Hmm,
Mm.
cool.
And I think it included David Bowie being in it too. That made it go up one too.
Hmm. All right. So for me, my number 3 is Near Dark. So,
Think about that one. Oh,
oh, would it have made your list?
it might have.
Hmm. Yeah, I enjoy it. To me, Bill Paxton as Severin is one of the greatest vampire portrayals I've ever seen on screen. Just one of the most vicious, ruthless vampires ever in the history of cinema. The family group is a lot of fun. I like the back and forth. They're trying to teach him the ways of what's going on, and him trying to come to terms with everything, but yeah, this is just really good, and I really like what they do with this one here. A lot of the vampire lore that they introduce. So yeah, I'm a big fan. So number 3 is Near Dark, which leaves your number 2.
Well, this one's an odd one. The Vampire's Kiss. I
Hmm.
guess it kind of breaks the rules a little, but I love it.
Yeah, I've seen it once, so I don't have a strong connection to it, but I did remember really liking it. I haven't returned to it for whatever reason, but yeah, it's definitely it was definitely fun from what I remember. I just wish I would have returned to it since. So
Yeah. He um Nicolas Cage goes nuts in this movie with Jennifer Beals and he gets some of his nuttiest acting done in this movie, and that's what makes me love it a lot.
um, all right, so my number 2 is one that you've already mentioned. My number 2 is Fright Night. Yeah, I love this. It's like a rock star horror film. Lots of over the top effects, lots of fun. Again, Jerry Dandridge is just awesome. Cool lead vampire always helps with this. So yeah, I love this. My number 2 is Fright Night. So that brings us to our top choices. So like I said before, I think I know what yours is. So go ahead and reveal your love for the film as much as you want.
My number one is The Lost Boys. You know, I love every darn actor in that movie. You can't go wrong with two dogs either. That damn guy with the saxophone.
It's so pointless, but it just fits in that film so perfectly.
Yes, it does. It was like a big 80s music video, and I loved it. And it's got the Corys in it, man.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. So my number one, I think I kind of went a little off the beaten path with this one. Um my number one.
Alex Winter with that cool coat.
Yeah, like I said, great stuff. Just I mean, I know you're a much bigger fan than it of me, but yeah, can't go wrong with it.
Yeah.
All right. So my number one, I think I kind of went a little off the beaten path with this one. Not sure if you've seen this, but my
No.
number.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say I don't know if you've seen this one because I kind of went a little off the beaten path with it. My number one is Mr. Vampire.
I
So
know that one.
I take it you have heard of it.
Yes.
I love this movie. It's just so stupid and charming. I mean, I kind of grew up on martial arts films, so a lot of that stuff appealed to me. It just hit the right note for me. I love the comedy in this. The vampires are awesome. The lead priest is just, the consummate ass kicker. It's a ball, and I love this movie. Again, kind of off the beaten path, just because it's not a traditional vampire, but I have so much fun with it. It's hard to go wrong with it. So.
Yeah.
All right, so that is the show. So if you have any other honorable mentions or something you want to just announce for audiences out there, go ahead and say it now.
Just that Thursday we're still having the midnight hour every Thursday, and the Final Girls of Horror are still going to be doing our weekly videos on Fridays. And that's about it.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, yeah. All of that stuff will be linked down below for you to check out her and her works. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining me on this.
I was glad to meet you.
Yeah, same here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, check out her and the rest of the group. Like I said, everything is down below. And thank you for listening. We will see you next week with a different topic. So see you then.
Okay.
All right, folks, and we are back with a special interview here for everyone this evening. I'm joined by a special guest, special effects artist and makeup. I'm not entirely sure what the term is, but special effects and makeup artist Tracey Jane.
Hi. It's
Hi.
I'm actually a special effects makeup artist and a prop maker as well.
Ah, okay, yeah. I was kind of unsure of what the title was, so well, thank you for clarifying that. I appreciate it.
That's okay.
Yeah. So I guess we'll start at the very beginning. What was your initial interest in becoming a filmmaker and wanting to join in the industry?
It's something I've always been interested since I was quite young. I've always sort of been into hair and makeup. Um, Unfortunately, my path didn't take me that way at the beginning. So I come in it quite late. Well, it's my second career now. So I retrained as a hairdresser, beauty therapist, and then I done special effects makeup. And then I went on to do prop making.
So, what was the path to becoming an effects artist? Like, were there any films or like any kind of inspiration that made you decide to take this path?
Oh, I think it was back when I was about 14, watching Freddy Krueger and the effects in that, and that's it really what got my interest.
Hmm. All right. So, when you're starting a new task, like, what's your like the day-to-day routine when you're in pre-production for, either your makeup work or creating a new prop, like the general course of action that you take.
Normally, if it's my own project, it's an idea what I thought about myself. I made a lampshade which has got three human faces on it. Um, yeah, that just sort of come to me, and I've done that. Um, I done a Halloween video, which was Edible Brain. Um, that sort of just come to me, and I made that within sort of 24 hours. That's done quite well on Facebook. Yeah, so it's all different things. If it's makeup for a film, I could be making the prosthetic myself, which means that I have to sculpt something. Um, yeah, if it's a prop, then maybe someone's asked me to do severed head, so I'll make a head. And yeah, so it's all different. Every day is different.
So, you mentioned joining film work, which you've done recently. What's the set like on those kinds of days? What are you doing prior to shooting?
Getting everything ready, making sure all the props are ready. If it's makeup, then making sure that I've run enough silicone prosthetics for each individual person I'm making up. I get on set quite early, prepare everything. They come in, actors come in, sit down. We talk them through what we're going to do, apply the makeup, and send them off on their way. And then the next person sits in the chair, and it's the same process over again.
So, when you're creating your molds, is there, you're creating like an actual physical prop or prosthetic? What do you do to ensure that it remains safe and easy to use on set?
All my prosthetics, most of my props, like the severed hands and things like that, they're all from life castings. They're always with me until the moment they go onto set, onto film. I prepare them, make sure they look, all good on camera. And it's the same with the makeup as well.
So, one of the first films, I'm not sure if it's going to be the first one out, but I noticed that one of the first ones was the house that zombies built. What was your actual role on that?
That was, I provided some prosthetics, severed face, some body parts, hands, fingers, limbs, and I also applied my own prosthetics on that film. So there was some zombie looks with teeth. I sculpted all the teeth, made the molds for them, applied them. That was a good chance for me to showcase my prosthetics, what I had made.
And what was the set like when you were arriving? How did everybody take to your makeup work, and how did the shooting go?
Yeah, it went really well. The first day I was on set, I worked with Lawrence Harvey from the Human Centipede. I done some special effects on him, which I can't say at the moment. Yeah, it was a really good time. Everyone was so nice. Everyone really liked my work. I got quite a lot of you know, notice from that film as well.
Nice. So the next film that you signed on to, Witches in the Woods, was there much of a difference that you noticed between having to work zombies versus witchcraft and other non?
The Witches of the Sand, it's called. That's a completely different one. So there's all different sort of scenarios what are going on in that film. So I've done one day I done 9 kills, which are quite sort of major kills. Then we was in Whitstable Theatre, and we literally had to kill the whole of the theatre. There's been quite a lot of special effects going on in that film. I'm not the only makeup artist on that film as well. There is a couple of other people who are really great. So yeah, we're all quite a good little team.
Ah, nice. So did working on that team, was that a vastly different experience? Do you prefer that compared to working by yourself, or?
I like all of it. I've gone off and worked on my own projects with other people, directors, so I've been on my own. Yeah, I like all of it. It's all different, it's all exciting, and I get to do what I love to do, and that's to create special effects.
All right. So, I read that the most recent one was Video Shop Tales of Terror. So, how did that one come about? Is that kind of in the similar vein to Witches of the Sands with the various anthology format that it has?
Yes, the Video Shop Tales of Terror. There's part one, which is, I think it's 6 tales of terror. Each segment is for about 8 to 10 minutes. Lawrence Harvey, I've worked on him with that as well, and Danny Thompson, Scream Queen. So that's going to be quite a popular one. I'm working on a few other segments as well for that. So that's a real good one to look forward to seeing.
All right. And I recently read that you joined up with Danny again on her film. I think it was Zodiac, if I remember right. How did,
Yes, yes,
yeah.
Gemini.
Oh, Gemini. I knew it was a Zodiac sign. I don't know why my brain
Yeah.
went there. But how did that come about?
Um, Danny asked me when we was working on Video Shots Tales of Terror if I'd come over and do some special effects for her, and obviously, of course, I will. That's for MJ Dixon, I believe, and it's 12 different videos, different star signs. So Danny's is Gemini, and we was working on that Monday just gone.
Was it different being directed by somebody that you'd worked with previously? I mean, I know that you worked with her on a couple of the other films, but now taking direction, was that a slightly different experience?
It was, but it was fun, and she's really good as well. She's fantastic to work for, and I'm looking forward to working on another project of hers.
All right. So is there any other kind of film work that you have coming up that you at least can mention or anything like
Um,
that?
yeah, I'm quite booked up already this year for lots of films. Um, some quite major special effects coming up. I'm back on Video Shop Tales of Terror soon. Got some really good special effects on that as well. I've got my own work coming up as well, so it's a photo shoot. So I'm redoing some looks to make my profile look a lot better as well. I've got some different ideas and different special effects, which I'm going to be showing on a video, probably on YouTube, on Facebook. Yeah, so there's a lot going on this year there is a lot going on.
Okay, so like you said, you mentioned your own various projects. I know that you have a web store that you use to create personalized products and different items. What can you tell us about that, and how did you come up with starting that?
Well, I've got a new website coming up. That should be opened up by the end of next week. So at the moment, I'm just selling through Facebook and Instagram. Um, that come up because people wanted to buy, was messaged me asking to buy key rings and things like that. So I set that up so it was easier for people to go and just shop and buy. And now it's sort of getting a bit wider. So I've decided to do the website so everyone just can go there and buy prosthetic hands, severed fingers, severed heads, Texas Chainsaw Massacre masks, and I do take personal customized orders as well.
Okay, go ahead and share that with anybody in case they want to check it out. Give you like your links and everything for people to find you.
Well, everything's just through Facebook at the moment. The website is not up and running until next week, so I haven't got all the details for that. But as soon as I have them, I will let you know.
Okay, so is there any other kind of special words of wisdom that you want to impart for anyone else that wants to follow in your footsteps and enter the special effects business like yourself?
Yeah, it's very hard work. It's very rewarding. It's so much fun at times, long hours. But if that's what you want to do, go for it and just keep working and showcasing your work. And eventually you'll get seen and, hopefully it will sort of roll on from that.
All right. Well, I thank you for your time. This was really fun, and I'm glad that we got to do this. So thank you so much for agreeing to do this.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you very much.
Well, happy to help out. So thank you all again for listening, and we will see you next time.